Hey everyone, Rick here, and we just finished a 3-player game of Dungeon Saga with the Dungeon Master Shelby. And we had Brandy and Ben as the adventurous heroes. We played the first 2 tutorial scenarios. The first one was a melee learning scenario, and the second one was supposed to be a ranged tutorial. And so let's start with the Dungeon Master. What did you think of Dungeon Saga?
This is my first time playing any game like this. I have not played Dungeons and Dragons or anything, but I adore being able to read and doing all of the different scenarios and creating them for people. So I found that this game was quite fun. I did happen to destroy them the second go around, which did not end up at the long range that it was supposed to be because I outnumbered them entirely and stuck them in a corner. But overall, I really enjoyed the game. I wish that the pieces on the board were a little bit wider spread. It was kind of difficult to move around such small little spaces. So if they had been a little bigger, I think that would have made things easier to move around. Like, in general, the whole thing bigger. Otherwise, I didn't have much complaint.
Excellent. And yes, we should point out the first melee tutorial, the adventurers were victorious, and Shelby the Dungeon Master was victorious in the second game. So Brandy, you played the dwarf and then the wizard. What did you think of Dungeon Saga?
I think the game's really fun. I am not the kind of person who does well when she doesn't know what's going to happen in a fight, unfortunately. And so trying to figure out some of the techniques while working with another person is not something I'm used to. And so that was interesting to get a hang of, especially with the extra added magic spells.
Yes.
Trying to remember to flip them, trying to remember to what their limits were was interesting, and I think it probably would have been easier for me if I was the elf. I think it was a fun game. I agree with Ben when he gets to it, that seeing him just until it gets to the door would have been more interesting, simply because seeing the entire thing and not knowing what's going to happen is probably a little bit worse than just, oh crap, there's a door.
Absolutely. And Ben, finally, your thoughts on Dungeon Saga.
So I really liked it. I enjoy these type of games, but I felt it would have been a little more challenging and a little more fun if you could only see up to doors or corners, because this way here we could tell there was a boss room up ahead just by the way it was laid out. But in the first scenario, when you open the door, you won, whereas in this scenario we would have to face something bigger, and it would have changed our strategy entirely if we didn't know that.
Absolutely. And I almost wonder if somewhere in here there was a rule where you could only see up to a door. I would have thought, though, it would have been somewhere in the setup guide. You know, maybe after the tutorials, when we got to the real game, it might then put that into play. Otherwise, I think a lot...
It's in a big red box.
There it is. Now, that is the full rule book, though, versus the tutorial book. But yes, that would definitely add a little suspense to the game. But all in all, I absolutely adore Dungeon Saga. I love the dice combat mechanism where you're rolling dice against the opponent's dice and you kind of line them up and see what gets through to the defense. I also love playing with painted figures, so that was also a huge bonus. And yes, I always love these kind of fantasy dungeon games, and so always a lot of fun playing Dungeon Saga. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time.